Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of The Farmer's Farm, and today marks the first video in the series from kitchen to garden. So basically this is essentially saying what you have in your kitchen that is beneficial to your garden. And the first product we are going to talk about is baking soda, right? And basically we are going to talk about 5 important benefits that baking soda adds to your garden. So without further ado, let us get into it. So baking soda is called sodium bicarbonate, right? And the first benefit that baking soda has as it relates to your garden is it protects against fungal spores, right? It protects against fungal spores. So the idea behind this, or the whole science behind this, is that fungal spores survive better in like mild acidic and even strongly acidic environment. So what happens is that baking soda is more on the alkaline side. So baking soda is more a base. You heard in school that they talk about acid and base. Baking soda is more a base. So adding baking soda to the plant, however, if you want to spray it on or you want to use it as a powder on the plant, all it does is it manipulates the pH. It kind of lowers the pH of the environment that the fungus is growing in. So what that means is that the growth of the fungal spores are suppressed because the ideal pH for growth is not present. So that is what happened. That is how baking soda works. So baking soda actually suppresses fungal spore growth. It doesn't actually kill them, right? As soon as the conditions become favorable, then the fungal spores begin to grow, right? So it is very good against like your powdery mildew and other fungal diseases. So that is the first benefit. So the second benefit is it is good against insect control. And basically the idea behind this is, again, baking soda, the kind of reaction that takes place in an insect when they ingest the baking soda. That is what kills the insect. Because with baking soda, it has this kind of property where it gives off CO2. So insects that intake the baking soda, there will be like a buildup of CO2 within their body, and this will disrupt their normal functions and cause them to die. So that is the whole science behind the baking soda and the insects. So it actually protects against insects. It actually kills insects, and it actually repels insects. So that is the second benefit of baking soda. Alright. The third benefit is it lowers pH. So it lowers the pH of the soil. So if you have an acidic soil, then adding because the baking soda is a base, right? It's more on the alkaline side. It will lower the pH. So again, if your soil is acidic, adding baking soda to the soil will help to lower that pH, so you could have better growth and development within your garden. Because as we all know, plants grow best at certain pH range, like maybe between 5.5 to 6.5. So if you have a soil that has a pH of about 4, 3 and so on, then adding the baking soda will lower the pH and you will have a better growing environment for the plant. That's baking soda. So that is only 3. So number 4 is that baking soda can be used for soil tests, right? And what that means is that I'm going to do a soil test. I'm going to do a demonstration on another video in this series, right? So you can see first on how the pH test is done. Because this is a base, right? If you have an acidic soil, then if you put the baking soda within or mix it with the acidic soil in a solution, water, then and if it bubbles, basically it shows that the soil is acidic, right? So, and then if you add this to a soil that is not acidic or more on the alkaline side, then, and it does not bubble, then you know that the soil is alkaline, right? Because this is a base, and acid and base basically they don't mesh. they are not friends, because the vinegar is more on the acid side and the baking soda is more on the base side. So that is another useful use of the baking soda. So moving on, number 5, basically it absorbs odor. So for instance, if you are making a compost and the compost is kind of smelly, what you can do is you can add baking soda to the compost. And what happens is that the baking soda does not work like normal scented stuff where the smell is just covered in our mask. What the baking soda does, it actually absorbs the odor, right? So it will completely eradicate the odor. Having it in the compost will just reduce the odor and so on. So it is very useful in eliminating odor. So that is one of the most important use of the baking soda, I think. The fact that it lowers the pH, it gives a better growing environment for plants, and hence you will get better tasting fruits. So like for instance, like the tomatoes, lowering the acidity level will enable the tomatoes to grow better, to have a better taste and basically a better growing environment, so you'll have better tasting fruits at the end of the day. So that is 5 important benefits so far. I mean, baking soda it's a very powerful, it's a super product, and all homeowners I know have a pack or 2 of baking soda in their home, and adding this to your garden, it will prove very beneficial. And basically, how do you use baking soda? No, so you can mix the baking soda with all-purpose flour, flour that you use in your kitchen, and you can basically just sprinkle it on your plant leaves, right? Or you can use the baking soda alone to sprinkle around the plant root. You could maybe use half cup, depending on the size of the plant, sprinkle it around the plant roots, and that now will help to manage the soil, right, in terms of conditioning the soil for a proper plant growth, and actually repelling insects, and actually controlling fungal growth that might exist within the soil as well. So, but in terms of adding a foliar application, adding a water solution to the plant leaves, what you do is you want to add 1 teaspoon per gallon of water, 1 teaspoon of baking soda per gallon of water, 1 teaspoon of oil, that is cooking oil, and then ½ teaspoon of soap. And basically, the soap and the oil, basically those are used for sticking and adjuvant purpose. You don't want, with adding oil and soap to this will ensure that you will get good coverage, right? Good coverage on the leaves and so on. So this is a spray bottle that you could use to just, spray on your leaves and so on, right? So remember, knowledge is power, and please subscribe for more videos and updates, right? So thank you for viewing.